I was exposed to pornography at a really young age, like 12, 13, by a friend.
Hmm.
And the effects of that really hit me harder in high school as far as like dealing with like lust and struggling with lust. And for me, it wasn't like a thing that I acted on, but it was a thing that was like inside me and led to, further uh, things looking into like pornography and things like that. And it really was.
Okay, so you gave your life to Christ at 16, but do you mind if I ask how old you are now?
I'm 24. I'm
24.
24.
So,
Just turned 24 in June.
well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, the time span between 16 and 24, like,
Hmm.
I mean, how was that journey? Was it just all roses and pink clouds? Like,
I wish. I wish. I know, like, to anyone out there who's pursuing their relationship with Christ and their faith and thinks that it's going to be sun and rainbows when you accept Christ, it is not. It's definitely been one of these. And I feel like my journey with just the faith is a unique one because I don't have like the outrageous kind of crazy things necessarily that have personally happened to me, and I also don't have perfect like I just it's just me and God skipping through daisies. I'm like in the middle, and I feel like sometimes when you're kind of in that middle ground of like, well, there's uh certain like struggles, like for example, just being completely transparent. Uh, I was exposed to pornography at a really young age, like 12, 13, by a friend,
hmm.
and the effects of that really hit me harder in high school as far as like dealing with like lust and struggling with lust. And for me, it wasn't like a thing that I acted on, but it was a thing that was like inside me and led to, further uh, things looking into like pornography and things like that. And it really wasn't until I want to say sophomore, probably like first semester, sophomore year, where I really felt like I got deliverance from that. And so some of the things like that, which is a thing that many a Christian struggles with in silence,
Hmm.
and so being in like that kind of oh, sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say also for your generation, it was so much accessible to you guys because you can pull it
Yeah,
up on your phones and cameras. Like
yeah,
back in my day when
yeah.
I was exposed to it, it was actual VHS tapes
Mm.
in my neighbor's house that she was stealing for like from her uncle and playing. Like
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like magazines, all that, but
yeah,
no, it's
magazines and
very
VHS
accessible.
tapes, but you guys can just pull it up on your phones or your
Hmm.
iPads or whatnot. So I'm pretty sure like that struggle had to like really been challenging just because of the accessibility.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And even more so going like later in high school, like junior, senior year, just playing sports and, peers being very sexually active and talking about it and trying to like not necessarily pressure me because everyone knew what I was on. They knew that Cam, Cam's a Christian. We gotta, and they respected it. It wasn't like a lot. It wasn't like a let's joke and forward type thing. It was a respect thing for sure. But they
Yeah.
still were like, man, you want to have some fun? And I was just like, nah, man, I'm good off all that. But it was like the behind closed doors kind of personal struggle for sure.
But you said when you were what, like 17, you felt delivered from that? What?
No, honestly, it was probably sophomore year of college. So I was
Or
what,
college?
18?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was something that like it was one of those things where spending so long just kind of like battling it, like talking to God, like in private time, like, God, can you take this from me? Just take this from me. Just take this from me. But not necessarily doing the things I needed to do to give it to him, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, totally
And I
makes
remember, yeah, just kind of going back and forth with that. Going to college thinking, hey, starting fresh, this is college. It'll be left back. No,
sense.
wasn't left back. It followed me straight to school. Um, and I just remember like, so I went to Liberty University,
Okay.
put that out there. So we used to have these campus community nights, which were like basically big Bible studies campus wide. So we'd all meet in the big like basketball arena and have worship and Bible studies. And it was this one night where we just worshiped all night, and I just really felt I just like tugging at me. And I remember I've never really been the real charismatic praiser kind of type that's like, crying and like hands raised and all that.
Yeah.
But that night, man, I just like felt the tug, tug, tug. And I knew exactly what it was about. And because that was really the one thing that I just had not like just given to God, you know what I'm saying? And so like that night, I remember just going down. Um, it's like all coming back, like in my, I'm like feeling it in my chest.
Yeah.
I remember going down, just kneeling on like they basically created like a floor space, which was like they're like this is like the altar's open type thing. Went down. I remember just kneeling down, like prostrate, just crying, and I remember literally hearing like in my ear like you never get too close, and that's been something I haven't written down like in my journal from that day. And that was really the day I feel like I gave that to Christ. And I had, there was other like shepherds and leadership that came and was like talking to me, praying over me. And that moment I felt was like that turning point in that struggle. So yeah,
That's intense.
it was, yeah, it was almost like, but I honestly I thank God for it though, because
Hmm.
get so many other people, I guess, like are like forced delivered in other ways,
Yeah.
whereas things come out and other things develop from that lust issue. I mean, we're seeing like we talk about man like a Ravi Zacharias and all these